Your job pays your bills, but your work releases what God placed inside you. Please get that very early. A job can keep food on the table, but your work is what feeds the world through your life. A job can sustain your existence, but only your true work can fulfill your existence. And this is where millions of people are in trouble, because they have confused survival with success. There are people listening to me right now who are employed, promoted, decorated, certified, and still empty. You get up in the morning, put on the clothes, get in the traffic, sit in the office, answer the emails, attend the meetings, collect the check, and still something in you keeps saying, there has to be more than this. That voice is not rebellion. That voice is memory. It is the memory of purpose calling from inside you. Write this down, please. Your job is temporary, but your work is eternal in its effect. Your job is what an organization gives you permission to do. Your work is what God designed you to release. Your job may have a retirement date, but your work can continue speaking after your body is gone. That is why a man can be buried and still be working. Because his books are still teaching, his invention is still serving, his song is still healing, his business is still employing, his children are still carrying his values. The tragedy is not that people have jobs. Jobs are good. Jobs are necessary. Jobs can train you, discipline you, feed your family, introduce you to systems, expose you to problems, and even finance your assignment. So this teaching is not an attack on jobs. I want you to be responsible, pay your bills, honor your employer, be excellent where you are, but never let what pays you become what defines you. This is the dangerous confusion of our generation. We ask children, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then we give them job titles. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher, accountant. But you are not a title. You are not a position. You are not a badge. You are not your salary. You are not your office. You are not even your business card. You are a product of the manufacturer, and every product was made because there was something it was designed to solve. That is why so many people are tired. Not just tired in the body, tired in the soul. They are aging inside because they are spending their life on employment but never discovering deployment. They are busy but not fruitful. Paid but not fulfilled. Known by the company but strangers to themselves. And when a human being lives too long outside of purpose, even success becomes stressful. The Apostle Paul understood something many modern people have not understood. Paul was not afraid to die because he was not confused about why he lived. He said, I have finished my course. Not I have kept my job. Not I have earned a salary. Not I have impressed the system. He said, I finished. There is a confidence that comes upon a person when they know they are not merely existing, they are completing an assignment. Tell your neighbor, I must finish my course. Come on, tell them, I was not born just to be employed. You were born to deliver something. You were born with a deposit. You were born with an assignment hidden in your design. And until that thing begins to come out of you, no paycheck will be large enough to silence the hunger of purpose. If this teaching is already locating something inside you, subscribe and stay with this word. Because this is not just about career. This is about becoming what the manufacturer designed. This is about rescuing your life from confusion. This is about discovering that your job may sustain your life, but your true work is the only thing that can fulfill it. Now, before you ask God for another job, you must ask God for another revelation of yourself. Because many times, the problem is not the job you lost, the job you hate, or the job you are trying to get. The problem is that you do not know who is applying for the job. You are taking a confused self into a professional system and asking that system to tell you who you are. That is dangerous. Please write these 5 questions down. Very important. Every human being must answer them. Who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? What can I do? Where am I going? These 5 questions control the human experience. These 5 questions are behind every career crisis, every midlife crisis, every identity crisis, every emotional crisis. Because when a man does not know who he is, he will borrow an identity from anything that gives him attention. That is why career confusion is usually purpose confusion wearing professional clothing. It has a tie on. It has a briefcase. It has a degree. It has a company badge. It has a LinkedIn description. But underneath all that language, the soul is still asking, who am I? You can call yourself manager, director, consultant, founder, analyst, specialist, executive, entrepreneur. But if God has not answered the question of identity in you, those words are only decorations on confusion. Look at our society. People introduce themselves by what employs them. I am a banker. No, you work at a bank. I am a nurse. No, you serve in nursing. I am an engineer. No, engineering may be one expression of your gift. I am a teacher. No, teaching may be the platform, but you are more than the institution that signs the check. You must never let a temporary position become a permanent definition. This is why some people collapse when they are fired. They do not just lose income, they lose themselves. The company removed the desk and suddenly they do not know who they are. The organization took the title and suddenly they feel invisible. The system canceled the email address and suddenly they feel like their name was erased from the earth. Listen carefully. If your company can remove your identity by removing your position, then what you call identity was only a label. Tell your neighbor, I am not a label. Come on, say it where you are. I am not my title. I am not my salary. I am not my employer. I am God's original product. Say it again. Until your spirit hears it. I am not my title. I am not my salary. I am not my employer. I am God's original product. You see, when you have not met yourself in God, you borrow yourself from people. You borrow yourself from brands. You wear somebody's name on your shirt, somebody's logo on your shoes, somebody's company on your business card, somebody's opinion on your mind, and then you call that identity. But you were not manufactured by Nike. You were not designed by your corporation. You were not created by the university. You were not born from the government. You came from God. And if you came from God, then God is the only one qualified to tell you who you are. The product does not define itself. The product goes back to the manufacturer. The phone does not wake up one morning and decide, I think I'm a refrigerator. No. The manufacturer determines its purpose before it ever reaches the store. So before you entered the employment market, before you filled out the application, before you chose the major, before anybody asked what you wanted to be, God had already placed purpose inside you. Where are you from? That question is not asking only about your city, your neighborhood, your family, or your nationality. It is asking about your source. If your source is God, then your value is not determined by your salary. Why are you here? That question is not answered by your schedule. Busy people can still be purposeless. What can you do? That is the question of potential. There is something in you that your job may not be using yet. Where are you going? That is destiny. If you do not know where you are going, any promotion can distract you. Until you know who you are and why you are here, you will confuse activity with productivity. Activity is movement. Productivity is fruit. Activity makes you tired. Productivity makes you fulfilled. Activity fills your calendar. Productivity fulfills your assignment. There are people who are active every day, answering phones, writing reports, attending meetings, making money, building resumes, and still producing nothing from the reason they were born. So the first crisis is not employment. The first crisis is identity. Separate yourself from the system that employs you. Honor the system, but do not worship it. Learn from it, but do not let it name you. Use the job, but do not become the job. Because you cannot discover your true work until you separate your identity from the systems that employ you. Stay with me now. Because once identity becomes clear, purpose can finally begin to speak. Now this is why the manufacturer principle is so important. Please write this down. No manufacturer begins with materials. A manufacturer begins with intention. The chair did not begin with wood. It began with the idea of sitting. The shoe did not begin with leather. It began with the idea of protecting a foot. The microphone did not begin with metal and wires. It began with the intention to magnify a voice. Purpose is always first. Materials are second. So when God made you, He did not begin with your body. He began with His intention. Before He formed your bones, He had already finished your assignment. Before your mother knew your name, heaven knew your function. Before your family saw your face, God had already determined the problem your life was designed to answer. That is why your purpose did not begin with your career path. Your career came later. Your purpose began in the mind of God. This is why the scripture says, before I formed you, I knew you. Not after, before. That means God's knowledge of you is older than your birth certificate. God's intention for you is older than your education. God's design for you is older than your employment history. You are not an experiment trying to become something. You are a completed intention being revealed in time. God starts with the end, then He backs up and begins. Tell your neighbor, I was finished before I started. Come on, say it again. I was finished before I started. That means your life is not supposed to be a search for popularity. It is supposed to be a discovery of design. Purpose is not invented by the product. Purpose is discovered from the manufacturer. If you buy a device and do not know what it is for, you do not ask the device. You read the manual. You return to the mind of the maker. And this is where many people get in trouble. They ask the market what they are for. They ask culture what they are for. They ask their friends, their professors, their employer, their bank account. But none of those created you. They can use you, but they cannot define you. They can hire you, but they cannot reveal you. They can promote you, but they cannot manufacture purpose. Only the manufacturer knows why the product exists. Now look at how powerful this is. The last thing a manufacturer puts on a product is the image, the logo, the name. Why? Because the manufacturer is saying, I stand behind this. God placed His image on you. That means you are not cheap. You are not accidental. You are not common. You carry the mark of the manufacturer. And the Word of God is the manual that tells you how you function. When you ignore the manual, you malfunction. When you live outside the Word, you may still be busy, but you will not function according to design. A fish does not succeed by climbing a tree. A bird does not succeed by swimming at the bottom of the sea. Success is not doing what everybody celebrates. Success is functioning according to design. Some of you are frustrated because you are measuring your life by another product's function. You are watching somebody else's gift and despising your own. That is sickness. You do not honor the manufacturer by rejecting what he built into you. Your gift is evidence of your design. What can you do naturally? What do you return to consistently? What produces fruit when you discipline it? What solves problems through you without you trying to be somebody else? That gift is not an accident. It is a clue. The gift is the seed of the work. The gift is the whisper of the assignment. The gift is God's investment in the earth through your life. Do not tell me you have nothing. That is an insult to the manufacturer. Every product leaves the factory with capacity. Every seed contains a tree. Every human carries a deposit. You may not have developed it. You may have buried it under fear, education, survival, comparison, or disappointment, but it's still there. The question is not, do I have something? The question is, what have I done with what God placed in me? And let me tell you something that should give you confidence. God is invested in your success, not because He is trying to make you famous, but because your fulfillment reflects His wisdom. When a product fails, people blame the manufacturer. When a product works, people honor the manufacturer. So God has a stake in your becoming what He designed. Your fruitfulness protects His name. Your completion glorifies His intention. That means purpose is not pressure to perform for people. Purpose is cooperation with the one who made you. You do not have to become everything. You only have to become what you were designed to be. Stop asking your job to give you what only your manufacturer can reveal. Go back to the Word. Go back to prayer. Go back to the gift. Go back to the burden that will not leave you alone. Because before you had a position, you had a purpose, and before your life began, God had already decided why you were necessary. Now, if God decided why you were necessary before you arrived, then your plans must never become more important than His purpose. Please write this scripture down. Proverbs 19:21 says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but the Lord's purpose prevails." Read that slowly. Many plans, one purpose. Man's heart can be full of schedules, ambitions, degrees, applications, strategies, promotions, businesses, relocations, and dreams. But above all of that, the Lord's purpose prevails. That verse gives us three laws. Number one, purpose is more powerful than plans. Number two, purpose is more important than plans. Number three, purpose precedes plans. Write those down. Purpose is more powerful than plans. Purpose is more important than plans. And purpose precedes plans. If you miss those three laws, you will spend your life organizing what God never authorized. Plans are not evil. You should plan. A foolish person lives without planning, but plans are servants. Purpose is master. Plans may organize your schedule, but purpose must govern your life. Your calendar should not be your God. Your salary should not be your God. Your 5-year plan should not be your God. Your retirement plan should not be your God. All of those things must bow to the reason God put you in the earth. This is why some people achieved everything they planned and still feel empty. They got the degree, they got the job, they got the house, they got the car, they got the office, they got the title, they got the applause. But after they got it, they discovered it did not answer the hunger. Why? Because success in a plan that is not connected to purpose becomes frustration with decorations on it. You can be successful at the wrong thing that is dangerous. You can be paid well to avoid your assignment. You can be promoted in a system and demoted in your spirit. You can have benefits, insurance, a parking space, and a corner office and still be bankrupt in purpose. Do not confuse evidence of comfort with evidence of calling. Comfort can be a sedative. Purpose is a command. A job can be one of your plans, but your work belongs to God's purpose. A job may be part of the route, but it is not necessarily the destination. A job may train your discipline, develop your character, expose your gift, finance your preparation, and connect you to people, but your job is still only a plan. Your work is tied to why you exist. Your work is the thing heaven expected from you before earth employed you. Tell your neighbor, my plans must serve my purpose. Say it again, my plans must serve my purpose. Some of you need to go home and look at your plans again. Not because they are bad, but because they may be too small. You plan for income, but God designed you for impact. You plan for a position, but God designed you for contribution. You plan for survival, but God designed you for fruitfulness. That is why the question cannot only be, what job can I get? That is too small for a human made in the image of God. The real question is, what problem was I born to solve? What burden keeps coming back to my heart? What injustice makes me restless? What gift works through me naturally? What do people receive from me when I am functioning in my design? What did God place in me that the world is waiting to benefit from? You see, employment asks, can you fill this position? Purpose asks, can you release this assignment? Employment asks, do you meet our requirements? Purpose asks, will you obey your design? Employment asks, what experience do you have? Purpose asks, what deposit did God place in you? Do you understand the difference? One is a system looking for labor. The other is heaven looking for fruit. Many people are praying for God to bless their plans, but they have never submitted their plans to His purpose. They say, Lord, bless this job, bless this move, bless this business, bless this relationship, bless this promotion. But God is asking, does this serve why I created you? Because God is not obligated to sponsor distraction. He loves you too much to let your plans succeed if they bury His purpose in you. This is why disappointment can sometimes be mercy. The door that closed may have protected your assignment. The promotion you did not get may have preserved your future. The job you lost may have exposed the fact that your identity was leaning on a system instead of standing on purpose. You cried because a plan failed, but heaven may have been celebrating because purpose was still alive. So stop worshiping your plans. Submit them. Bring your education to God. Bring your career to God. Bring your ambition to God. Bring your money to God. Bring your calendar to God. Say, Lord, if this plan does not serve your purpose, correct me. That is maturity. That is wisdom. That is the posture of a person who understands they were manufactured for an assignment, not merely hired for a paycheck. Once you understand that purpose is superior to plans, then the difference between job and work becomes unavoidable. You can no longer call your job your life. You can no longer let a company define your worth. You can no longer let a salary silence your assignment. Because now you know there is something deeper than employment. There is work. And your job is what they pay you to do, but your work is what you were born to do. Your job is what they hire you to do, but your work is what God designed you to produce. Please write that down. Your job is your employment. Your work is your assignment. Your job is a position in a system. Your work is the release of your God-given purpose into the world. Your job may give you a desk, but your work gives you a reason to live. This is why you must never confuse the two. You can be fired from your job, but you can never be fired from your work. They can take your badge, but they cannot take your gift. They can remove your title, but they cannot remove your assignment. They can lock you out of the building, but they cannot lock God's deposit out of your spirit. The company can say, we no longer need you here, but purpose will still say, I still need you in the earth. A job depends on an employer. Work depends on purpose. A job depends on a vacancy. Work depends on a gift. A job depends on somebody hiring you. Work depends on your obedience to the manufacturer. A job can be seasonal, but your work is tied to why you were born. That is why you must not panic when a job changes. If you understand your work, you can survive the loss of a job because your source is not the system. Your source is God. Some of you are depressed because you lost employment, but you did not lose purpose. You are crying over a chair they took from you, but God never called you to a chair. He called you to a work. You are grieving over an office, but God never manufactured you for an office. He manufactured you for impact. The office may have been one place where the impact was expressed, but the office is not the assignment. Let me show you. A teacher's job may be in a school, but the teacher's work is not the school. The work is illumination. The work is transferring knowledge. The work is awakening capacity in another human being. So if the school fires the teacher is still a teacher. They can teach in a classroom. They can teach online. They can write a book. They can mentor young people. They can gather children in a home. They can create a course. They can speak into one life at a table. Why? Because the work was never the institution. The work was the gift producing impact. A singer's job may be on a platform, but the work is the gift of sound carrying healing, truth, comfort, and conviction. A builder's job may be with a construction company, but the work is bringing order to materials and creating places where life can function. A counselor's job may be in an agency, but the work is helping broken minds recover direction. Do you understand? Your job is the container, your work is the content. Never worship the container. This is where Monday morning begins to preach. Some of you do not need a prophet. Monday morning is already prophesying to you. If every Sunday evening you begin to get sick in your stomach, if every Monday morning feels like a funeral, if you hate your life 5 days a week just to afford 2 days of escape, something is wrong. That may be a signal that what was supposed to be a platform has become a prison. Now listen carefully. I am not telling you to be foolish. Do not go tomorrow and insult your supervisor and say, I found my purpose. That is not purpose. That is immaturity. Pay your bills. Feed your children. Honor your commitments. Be excellent where you are. If they hired you for 8 hours, give them 8 hours of integrity. Do not steal time and call it destiny. Purpose never produces dishonor. But while you are faithful in the job, develop the work. While you are employed, refine the gift. While you are serving in the system, study yourself. Learn the discipline, learn the structure, learn the problems, learn the people, learn the language, learn the systems. Your job can finance your preparation if you stop making it your identity. Use it, but do not worship it. Learn from it, but do not bow to it. Respect it, but do not let it become your God. Tell your neighbor, this place may be my employment, but it is not the limit of my assignment. Say it again. This place may be my employment, but it is not the limit of my assignment. You need to say that until fear breaks. This office is not the limit. This company is not the limit. This salary is not the limit. This title is not the limit. This season is not the limit. God is the source of my work. Jesus said, I must work the works of him who sent me. He did not say I must keep a job. He said I must work. Why? Because he understood assignment. When a person understands assignment, they stop living for approval and begin living for completion. They stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, am I producing what I was sent to produce? Your job can end with retirement. Your work should end with fulfillment. Your job can end with a farewell party, a plaque, and a cake in the break room. But your work ends when heaven says, you finish what I sent you to do. That is a different life. That is why Paul could say, I have finished my course. He was not celebrating employment. He was celebrating completion. So do not reduce your life to a paycheck. Thank God for the paycheck, but do not let the paycheck become a muzzle. There are books in you. There are solutions in you. There are inventions in you. There are songs in you. There are businesses in you. There are ministries in you. There are ideas in you. There are young people waiting for what you know. There are problems waiting for what you carry. Your work is still calling. The tragedy is to be hired and never be released. The tragedy is to be busy and never be fruitful. The tragedy is to be paid and never be productive according to purpose. So from today, separate the two. My job is what they pay me to do. My work is what I was born to do. My job may change. My work remains. My job may close. My work continues. My job may reject me. My purpose still requires me. That is freedom. Now, when you understand that your job is not your life, you stop despising the job and you start studying it. This is very important. Please write this down. Your employment may be temporary, but your development is intentional. God can use a place that does not look like your destiny to prepare you for your destiny. He can use a supervisor you did not choose, a schedule you do not like, a system you did not build, and a responsibility you think is beneath you to train the gift that is inside you. Do not be so quick to curse the place that is educating you. Your job may be a training ground. It may be a resource channel. It may be an exposure center. It may be a discipline school. It may be a temporary platform. You thought you were only going there to earn money, but God may have sent you there to learn people. You thought you were only going there to pay bills, but God may have sent you there to study systems. You thought you were only going there to survive, but God may have sent you there to develop excellence under pressure. Tell your neighbor, I am not just employed, I am being deployed. Say it again, I am not just employed, I am being deployed. Employment asks, who will pay me? Deployment asks, where can my gift serve the purpose of God? Employment is concerned with salary. Deployment is concerned with assignment. Employment says, what can I get from this place? Deployment says, what is God developing in me through this place? Some of you are praying to leave a place before you have learned the lesson of the place. You are asking God for the next door, but you have not passed the present classroom. And if you leave without learning, you will carry the same undeveloped self into another office, another company, another city, another business, and then blame the new environment for the old immaturity. Location cannot deliver you from what discipline was supposed to correct. Maybe that job is teaching you patience. Maybe it is teaching you how to communicate with difficult people. Maybe it is teaching you leadership before anybody gives you a leadership title. Maybe it is teaching you stewardship. Because if you cannot manage another man's resources faithfully, why should God trust you with your own? Maybe it is teaching you problem solving. Maybe it is teaching you how to show up when you do not feel inspired. That is important, because purpose without discipline becomes a fantasy. Do not quit emotionally before you finish learning. Some people are still sitting at the desk, but they already resign in their heart. They do just enough not to get fired. They arrive late in their spirit. They serve with attitude. They complain more than they contribute. Then they say, I am waiting for my purpose. No, you are damaging your preparation. Purpose never excuses mediocrity. If you are in the place, be present. If you are assigned to the task, be excellent. If your name is connected to the work, let integrity be on it. The Bible says if you are faithful in little, you can be ruler over much. It does not say if you are famous in little. It does not say if you are applauded in little. It says faithful. That means God watches how you handle what looks small. He watches how you answer the phone. He watches how you treat people who cannot promote you. He watches how you manage time, money, pressure, correction, delay, and disappointment. Why? Because the gift inside you needs character strong enough to carry it. Some of you are not stuck because you have a job. You are stuck because you stopped growing inside the job. The job became routine and you went to sleep. You stopped observing. You stopped asking questions. You stopped improving your skill. You stopped noticing the problems around you. You stopped listening to the burden in your heart. You are waiting for purpose to arrive like lightning, but purpose is often discovered while you are faithfully serving in ordinary places. So begin to diagnose your life. Ask yourself, what do people keep asking me for? That is a clue. What problems disturb me more than they disturb other people? That is a clue. What ideas keep returning to my mind even after I try to ignore them? That is a clue. What ability do I use even when nobody pays me? That is a clue. What fruit follows my contribution? That is a clue. Do not ignore the evidence of design. Your gift will leave tracks. Your gift will create a pattern. People will come to you for certain kinds of help. Problems will pull something out of you. Certain needs will disturb your peace. Certain assignments will make you come alive. You may be tired in your job and energized in your work. You may be exhausted by the system but awakened by the gift. Pay attention. God often reveals purpose through repeated fruit. But when you discover the gift, you must develop it. Do not romanticize purpose. Purpose is not daydreaming about greatness. Purpose is responsibility. If there is a book in you, start writing. If there is a business in you, start studying. If there is a solution in you, start testing it. If there is a ministry in you, start serving people. If there is a teaching gift in you, start learning deeply enough to feed minds. The discovery of work demands development, not fantasy. Your job can become a classroom for your purpose when you treat it as deployment, not identity. Go there tomorrow different. Do not walk in as a victim. Walk in as a student. Walk in as a steward. Walk in as a product under development. Say, Lord, what are you teaching me here? What are you building in me here? What problem are you showing me here? What gift are you refining here? Then the same place that felt like a prison can become preparation. Because you are no longer asking the job to define you. You are using the job to develop what God already placed inside you. And this is where you must understand the mystery of seed. God never gives the future in finished form. He hides the tree in the seed. He hides the forest in the fruit. He hides the nation in the womb. He hides the book in an idea. He hides the business in a burden. He hides the ministry in compassion. He hides the invention in frustration. He hides your true work inside your gift. Please write this down. Your gift is the seed of your work. Your burden is the soil of your work. Your discipline is the cultivation of your work. Your fruit is the evidence of your work. If you want to discover why you are here, stop only asking, where can I get a job? Start asking, what seed did God put in me? Because everything God wants from a tree, He first places in a seed. Everything God wants from your life, He placed inside you in potential form. That means your future is not only ahead of you, your future is trapped within you, waiting for discipline. Oh, this is important. Your future is not in the company. Your future is not in the economy. Your future is not in the hands of people who interview you. Your future is in the gift God placed in you before you were born. People can open doors, but they did not create your seed. People can recognize your gift, but they did not manufacture it. People can reject your ability, but they cannot cancel your assignment. This is why you must go back and study yourself. Some of you need to meet yourself again. You have been trained by fear, bills, school systems, opinions, and survival until you became practical without purpose. You learned how to pay rent but forgot how to dream. You learned how to be accepted but forgot how to be original. You learned how to fit into a system but forgot what disturbed you when you were a child. What did you dream before people laughed at you? What did you love before somebody told you it would not make money? What problem did you want to solve before the world taught you to settle? What did you draw? What did you build? What did you talk about? What did you imagine? What kind of people did you want to help? What kind of world did you keep seeing in your mind? Do not despise those childhood signals. Sometimes the child you buried knew more about your assignment than the adult you became. Jesus said that unless you become like a little child, you cannot enter the kingdom. Why? Because children still believe what adults have negotiated away. Children are honest about desire. Children are not yet addicted to approval. Children will tell you, I want to build that. I want to sing that. I want to fix that. I want to help them. I want to teach. Then adults come along and say, be realistic. But realism without purpose is just decorated fear. Now listen to me carefully. Potential is not success. Potential is only what could be. A seed is not a tree until it is planted, watered, protected, and forced to break open. You can have potential and die unsuccessful. You can have a book in you and never write it. You can have songs in you and never sing them. You can have businesses in you and never build them. You can have systems in you and never improve anything. You can have children around you who need mentoring and never pour into them. You can have communities waiting for reform and still go home every day with your gift asleep. The cemetery is one of the richest places on earth, not because of gold, but because of buried potential. Books that were never written are there. Companies that were never started are there. Ministries that were never birthed are there. Inventions that were never built are there. Solutions that never reached the world are there. And some people died full. That is tragedy. You were not sent to earth to carry your work back unopened. God did not give you breath so you could protect your gift from responsibility. Tell your neighbor, do not die full. Say it again. Do not die full. Empty yourself into your generation. Release what God placed in you. If you are carrying wisdom, teach somebody. If you are carrying music, discipline your sound. If you are carrying business, study markets and solve problems. If you are carrying leadership, serve faithfully where you are. If you are carrying compassion, get near the pain and start helping people. Your gift becomes your work when it begins to serve purpose and produce fruit. But the gift must be refined. Do not say this is just how I am. That is laziness disguised as authenticity. A raw gift can hurt people. A raw gift can embarrass you. A raw gift can attract attention before it can carry responsibility. So study, practice, find mentors, accept correction, serve before you lead, be consistent when nobody claps, learn the craft, learn the language, learn the discipline, learn the people you are called to serve. Your gift came from God, but your development is your stewardship. Some of you have been waiting for a platform when God is waiting for preparation. You want the microphone, but you have not mastered the message. You want the business, but you have not mastered service. You want influence, but you have not mastered consistency. You want to be seen, but you have not learned how to be faithful in secret. Purpose does not exempt you from process. The seed must go into the ground. Your true work is discovered where gift, burden, discipline, and divine purpose begin to produce fruit. Not just what you like, not just what pays, not just what people applaud. Where does your gift meet a human need? Where does your burden pull you toward service? Where does discipline turn ability into excellence? Where does fruit show that God is using your life to answer something in the earth? That is where your work begins to speak. So today, stop hiding behind confusion. Start with the seed. Write the idea. Make the call. Take the class. Serve the person. Practice the skill. Ask for correction. Build the prototype. Mentor the child. Start the page. Open the notebook. Stop waiting for permission from people who did not manufacture you. And I want you to make a declaration. Write it down where you can see it. And if you are watching this, put it in the comments. I will not bury what God placed in me. Then add the truth you are choosing to live by. Say, my job is not my identity. Say, my gift will produce fruit. Say, my assignment is still alive. Say, I will develop what God deposited. Because from this day, you are not merely looking for a paycheck. You are cultivating a seed, and that seed is the beginning of the work you were born to release. Now listen to me very carefully. The enemy of right is not always wrong. Sometimes the enemy of right is good. Please write that down. Good can be dangerous when good becomes a substitute for obedience. Good can feed you while purpose is starving. Good can clothe you while assignment is naked. Good can make you comfortable enough to ignore the thing God keeps disturbing inside you. A good salary can become a cage. Benefits can become chains. Status can become a prison with carpet on the floor. Applause can become a drug. People can call you successful while heaven calls you unfinished. That is why you must not measure your life only by what men celebrate. Men will celebrate your position. God measures your production. Men will celebrate your title. God measures your obedience. Men will ask, how much do you make? God asks, what did you do with what I put in you? Some of you are not failing. That is the problem. You are succeeding at the wrong thing. You are good at a job that is not your assignment. You are respected in a system that cannot explain your burden. You have learned how to perform, how to smile, how to meet targets, how to impress supervisors, how to wear the right clothes, how to sound professional. And yet when you go home, something in you is still crying. That cry is not confusion. That cry may be purpose, refusing to die quietly. Restlessness is not always rebellion. Sometimes restlessness is revelation. Sometimes that discomfort is the alarm clock of destiny. You keep trying to silence it with another promotion, another vacation, another purchase, another certificate, another compliment, but it comes back. Why? Because assignment does not disappear because you are comfortable. Purpose does not stop speaking because your paycheck is stable. The baby is still in the womb and it is kicking. Tell your neighbor, do not let good keep you from right. Say it again. Do not let good keep you from right. A good job becomes dangerous when it gives you comfort while your real assignment remains unborn. It is dangerous to be paid well and still die empty. It is dangerous to be admired and still be disobedient. It is dangerous to be busy and still be unproductive according to purpose. But now I must balance this, because some people hear purpose and become foolish. Purpose does not require reckless escape. Purpose requires ordered obedience. Do not walk out of responsibility and call it faith. Do not abandon your family and call it vision. Do not create chaos and blame the Holy Spirit. God is not the author of confusion. Purpose is not emotional excitement. Purpose is disciplined obedience to divine instruction. So what do? You begin movement with wisdom. Write the vision. Make it plain. Stop carrying vague fire. Put it on paper. What is the gift? Name it. What is the burden? Identify it. What problem are you called to solve? Write it down. Who are the people you are assigned to serve? Name them. What skill must you develop? List it. What knowledge do you lack? Study it. What fruit would prove that your gift is helping somebody? Measure it. Start producing after hours. If you cannot be faithful when nobody pays you, do not ask God to trust you when everybody is watching. Write after work. Build after work. Study after work. Practice after work. Serve after work. Develop the gift while the job is still paying the bills. That job may be the incubator, but it must not become the tomb. Serve before you charge. This is important. Some of you want the price before you produce the fruit. No. Let the gift prove itself. Help somebody. Teach somebody. Build something small. Solve a real problem. Offer value. Let people experience the evidence. Fruit creates credibility. When the tree produces, people come for the fruit. You do not have to beg a hungry man to recognize bread. And do not call laziness faith. God does not bless laziness disguised as spirituality. He blesses obedience. He blesses preparation. He blesses productivity. Faith without works is dead. That means if you believe, move. If you heard, act. If God gave you the idea, begin. If God gave you the burden, serve. If God gave you the gift, develop it. Heaven is not impressed by potential you refuse to cultivate. Some of you have been praying for God to release what He is waiting for you to start. You are saying, Lord, open a door, and God is saying, open the notebook. You are saying, Lord, send the people, and God is saying, serve the one in front of you. You are saying, Lord, bless my business. And God is saying, learn discipline. You are saying, Lord, use me. And God is saying, prepare the gift. Do not despise small beginnings. A tree begins as a seed. A book begins as a sentence. A company begins as a solution. A ministry begins with compassion for one person. A movement begins with obedience in secret. The question is not whether you have work. We settle that. You were born with work. The question now is whether you will begin producing it. So go back to that good job with new eyes. Be faithful there, but do not be buried there. Be excellent there, but do not be owned there. Learn there, but do not let comfort sedate you. Let the salary finance preparation. Let the schedule teach discipline. Let the pressure refine character. Let the exposure reveal problems. But after you finish what they pay you to do, begin developing what you were born to release. Say this with me. I will not let good keep me from right. Say, I will not let comfort bury my assignment. Say, I will produce what God placed in me. This is no longer about having a job. This is about completing your work. And this is why you must leave this word today with a decision. Not an emotion, not a shout only, not a tear only, a decision. Please write this down. The measure of a fulfilled life is not the job you held, but the work you completed according to God's original purpose. You are not your job. You are God's product. Your purpose did not begin when a company hired you. Your purpose began when God imagined you. Your plans did not create your purpose. Your purpose is supposed to govern your plans. Your gift is not an accident. Your burden is not a hobby. Your idea is not just a thought passing through your mind. These are clues. These are signals. These are the fingerprints of the manufacturer on the inside of the product. So now we understand the whole revelation. You are not here to worship a paycheck. You are here to release an assignment. You are not here to be owned by a system. You are here to serve your generation. Your job may sustain your life, but your work fulfills your life. Employment is temporary deployment for your gift. The job is a place, the work is a purpose. The job can end, the work remains alive. They can retire you from a company, but they cannot retire you from your assignment. That is why Paul could say, I have finished my course. He did not say, I kept my position. He did not say, I protected my title. He did not say, I made everybody like me. He said, I finished. That is the word I want in your spirit. Finished, not famous. Finished, not promoted only. Finished, not comfortable only. Finished. Because the tragedy of life is not death. The tragedy of life is dying with your work still locked up inside you. Some people retire from a company and still never finish their course. They had benefits but no fruit. They had a pension but no production. They had a desk but no destiny released. They had a career but the assignment remained unborn. Do not let that be your testimony. Do not spend 40 years helping another man build his dream and never give one disciplined year to what God placed inside you. Now, I want you to do something practical. Not tomorrow in your mind. Put it on paper. Write down your gifts. What can you do? What do people keep asking you for? Write down your burdens. What problem makes you angry in a holy way? What pain can you not ignore? Write down your ideas. What keeps coming back to your mind when you are quiet? Write down the problems you keep noticing. Because your work is often hidden in the problem you were designed to solve. Then choose one act of production this week. One. Do not make this mysterious. Write one page. Record one lesson. Make one phone call. Build one outline. Serve one person. Study one chapter. Sketch one design. Create one proposal. Mentor one young person. Start one small thing that proves you are no longer just dreaming. You are producing. Faith is not proven by what you imagine. Faith is proven by what you move toward. If God gave you the seed, plant something. If God gave you the gift, develop something. If God gave you the burden, serve somewhere. If God gave you the idea, test it. Stop asking God to bless what you refuse to begin. And here is my challenge to you. Do not only ask God for promotion at your job, ask God for courage to become productive in your work. Promotion may increase your income, but production releases your purpose. Promotion may give you a bigger office, but production gives the world what God placed in you. Promotion may change your title, but production changes your testimony. Say this: Lord, do not just promote me, produce through me. Say, Lord, do not let me hide behind my job. Say, Lord, make me fruitful in my work. That is a dangerous prayer, because God may wake up things you bury. He may disturb your comfort. He may challenge your excuses. He may require discipline where you wanted only inspiration. But that is how purpose is born. So let us align our heart. Lord, make me what you intended. Teach me what you placed inside me. Reveal the gift. Clarify the burden. Purify the motive. Give me discipline to produce it for your glory. Deliver me from fear, from delay, from comparison, from laziness, and from the false identity of a paycheck. Help me to be faithful where I am, but never buried where I am. Let my life become evidence that you do not waste design. Your job may be temporary, but your work is still alive. Your season may be changing, but your assignment is still speaking. Your past may have delayed you, but it did not delete you. The manufacturer does not waste design. If he built you with purpose. If he gave you breath, he gave you something to release. If he placed a gift in you, there is fruit he expects from you. So rise up. Stop living only to be paid. Start living to be poured out. Do your job with excellence, but do your work with conviction. Let the world receive what heaven deposited. Let your generation taste the fruit of your obedience. Do not die full. Finish your course. And if this word helped you separate your paycheck from your purpose, stay connected to teachings that call you back to God's original design. Comment the truth you are choosing to believe and live out about the work you were born to produce. Write it with conviction. I am not my job. I am God's product. I will produce my work.